This message is for Sir King in regards to you slandering another content creator and stating that he was displaying pedophilic behaviors because he was communicating with a minor. I'm not really sure why you thought that was okay to portray such a false narrative, but you really do need to stop doing that. It could be very dangerous. Is very defamatory, and it's almost like you'll do anything just for a click in the view. You'll just tell some type of story and make up a fallacy in order for somebody to be impressed with your content. What happened was Duchess Kelly Love erased his page for whatever reason. When he did that, when I first found out about it, I said, well, let me see what's going on. And why did he do that? So I typed in the search bar, Duchess Kelly Love. When I did that, I came across a live that was currently going on. So I clicked on it to see what was being talked about, because something about Jason had said that Duchess Kelly was in the chat, and it was Jason as well and some other person. And I was interested in seeing what was going on. I didn't hear anybody speaking at the moment when I had first gotten in the chat, but I was curious enough to stick around to see what was going on. So when the person started to speak, the content creator started speaking, I think it's safe enough for me to assume that we thought it was a woman, the people that were in there. At this point, it was like 3 people in there, including myself. And then Jason starts asking the content creator questions. And the person seemed very apprehensive, and he seemed very standoffish. But he answered the question. He asked him how long did he know about the beef sector. And the young man said for a while, and then he ended up being more specific and said like a year and a half. So somebody told the boy to drop the link. He did, and then that's when Jason clicked on it and he started communicating with him more. And it didn't even last that long. The boy is pretty much a DKL fan, and he was disappointed that Duchess erased his channel. So then, once the StreamYard was over, we all did, our separate things, I'm assuming. And I ended up finding Jason's video. And it was in regards to the boy, which I didn't know it was a boy because we all thought it was a woman anyway because of the voice. But it was a teenager because Jason showed the boy's video with him gardening or something like that. And pretty much Jason was trying to say, in my opinion, it was very innocent. He was just trying to say that, look at that, like we have such a young audience watching us. You never know who's watching. In this particular aspect, it was a young man, a minor, who knows a lot about the beef sector, and he knows a lot about the content creators that are in this so-called community or sector. And Jason was saying that because now that we know that children could be watching, or a child is watching, because it was confirmed, we should be more, aware of what we're saying and about the stuff that we're speaking about. I'm not sure where you got the message that Jason was being a pedophile or he was displaying pedophilic behaviors, but you do this a lot. You twist a lot of narratives. You run and you take advantage of the masses that are involved in your chat, mainly because a lot of them are not, standing up to you. They're praising you. You have some people that will question you, and they will, question your accuracy, and you deflect when they do that. You avoid it. Like, how is that okay that you're defaming somebody when you come with this accusation, I want to say, that this person is, oh, look at that, he's being inappropriate. How? How is he being inappropriate? And I'm a mother of 2 sons, two highly intelligent sons, two sons that are aware of cyber bullying, cyber crimes. A lot of that, they are very aware and educated on a lot of different things, and they're young. And I didn't see what you saw with this whole situation. But once again, you're creating a false narrative because it brings in the numbers. He is your adversary. So, of course, it's going to seem like you're picking now. Okay, and now you're making this huge, and you're coming across like this is like a vendetta now. Like, you really do need to reflect. You do. You need to self-reflect, and you need to be more mature about some of these narratives that you're spinning, because you do it for clicks and views. But that's not okay when it can be hurt somebody's reputation. And then you try to come across like you're this moral person, and oh, don't come on my platform and do this, and don't speak the vile things. But what you're doing is very negative and very evil, very maniacal. You come across like you have a low self-esteem, like you were bullied as a child, and now you have a complex about it. And this is like going to your head now because you had people praising you, like you're not used to this. So now, you're acting out almost because the spotlight is on you. But no, that's not okay. Like, you've sold your soul. You've made a 180 turn from when you first started, and you were very calculating. I might add that you are a very calculating person and very strategic. You manipulate stories to try to convince people of false happenings. Your misapprehensions, you take them and you run with them. That's not right. And when I say you did a 180 from when you first started, I'm not going to say you did a 360, because people say that, and that's misrepresented. If a person does a 360, that means if they start at 0 and they go 360 degrees, they're right back where they started at, and they're that same person. But you did a 180, so that means you turned halfway. You turned into somebody else, but you really didn't, because you're just showing and displaying who you really are. You don't convince me. I see right through you. Even though I can't see you, I still see you. You swear that you're 2 steps ahead of people, 10 steps ahead of people. It seems like all you do all day is actually watch live from live to live to live, and you're sitting there collecting these details about things. You're almost obsessive, I want to say. Then when you do all of that, you come and you fire the gun without even knowing who's your target. How do you do that? Come with facts. You tried to spin that narrative with Sirius Bayless, and Brianna had to tell you, stop, that's wrong, you're wrong. You tried to spin this narrative with Jason, and I'm telling you, you're wrong. You take bits and pieces of things and you try to create these stories. Like, you must have some type of vivid imagination, but you're using it in the wrong way. You love messiness. You are very messy. You feed off of that. You try to act like you're so innocent, but you have a lot of blood on your hands. And you're one of those type of people that are like the worst of them. At least you have some people that they show who they really are. Like, they're out with their evilness. Some people, if they know that they're nefarious, they'll show you that. They'll tell you that. But you are one of the worst type of people, because you sneak with yours. You're very sneaky, very manipulative and calculating. You like to see all of this mess going on, and then, oh no, please don't do that on my platform, because people are going to think this. Who cares what people think about you? Why do you care about that so much? You're a crybaby. You whine a lot. You whine a lot to be a male. You make me think that you were raised by a single mother because you're so emotional, and there's nothing wrong with men being emotional, but you whine at every single thing. If somebody don't agree with you, you're crying and whiny. Like, who does that? People are going to disagree with you, and that's perfectly fine. You're not living in a world that everybody's going to think what you think. That's what makes us all unique, because we have our own way of thinking. We have the benefit to be able to think for ourselves. But you just want to convince the masses of foolishness. Oh, this is what I said, so it's true. No, a lot of stuff that you say is not true. It's very inaccurate. Actually, you missed the target a lot of times. Many of times, I'll say. Because a lot is a parking lot. So I'll say many of times you missed your target. And then you made a statement about saying that you built up your channel all by yourself, and no, you did this and you did that. First of all, you built your channel up from Tracy. Then you hopped on to Brianna's bandwagon. You built your channel up jumping on people's bandwagons. And that's perfectly okay. That's okay to admit that. But stop being so arrogant all the time. How about that? Because you can fall. We all can. You're on a high horse right now, so you need to be careful. Don't you understand? Life has this way of humbling people when they start getting puffed up and arrogant and, oh, nobody can tell me nothing because I'm on top of the world. That's what you think. But you can also be humbled. You try to come across with this passive aggressive attitude or this demeanor that, oh, I'm so calm. I'm just so moral. Oh, I'm so positive. You're the absolute opposite of positive. Like I said before, you're the epitome of being messy. You are the definition of messiness. That's you. Underneath messiness, it will say Sir King. And you do it for clicks and views. And it's okay. But be real with yourself. Be for real. Stop drawing up these fairy tales and fables about people that are untrue. Like, stop doing that. Why do you do that? And then you have people that's foolish enough to believe this. The police story, that's another thing. How does a person that is pretty much invisible, okay? We don't know who you are. We don't have your location. Jason is saying that he does know who you are. That's, who knows if that's true or not. It could be true. It might not be true. But you come up with this story about, oh, somebody saw the video that Shelly did and they were so concerned, so they contacted the police and sent them to my house. So you're implying that somebody on YouTube, either you're implying somebody on YouTube is close to you or they know your identity, because they would have to know who you are to get the police sent to you, or you're making up the story. And if you think everybody is naive enough to believe your little fantasies, then you're mistaken. And it's sad that people actually think that they can pull wools over people's eyes just by saying things and trying to sound intelligent. I'm an independent thinker. It takes a lot for me to be convinced. It takes much evidence for me to be convinced by someone's theory or someone's opinion. I'm not easily convinced, and I see behind your smoke and mirrors. You're a fraud. And until you are honest with yourself and be really who you are, you'll continue to be a fraud. And if you can live like that, then I guess we have to accept it.